Have you heard of peptides? The newest anti-aging discovery? It's actually been around for thousands of years, actually from the beginning of mankind in Genesis. Because why? Because our body has makes our own peptides, right? Did you know that? Yeah. So, did you know you can actually do things in your dietary, in your lifestyle habits that can encourage certain peptides to be secreted, produced, and so forth, so that you're not going to the doctor having to inject yourself with peptides. How cool is that? If you're interested in learning how to increase your own peptide production, then you got to stay tuned for the rest of this video. All right, let's jump right in. As always, I need to first give you a disclaimer. I am not a physician. I was not trained to prescribe medications and to do surgery. What I was trained in was in traditional Chinese medicine, and my focus in biochemistry, my focus is to help, my training was to help people restore their organ functions, restore their God-given ability to heal itself so that they can do the things that they love to do. That's what I was trained in doing, and that's what my team does. So all of this information that I'm sharing is only for educational purpose only. It is not medical advice. It is not my recommendation for you. You need to talk to your physician before you do anything that I ever talk about. I'm required by YouTube and Google to say that, otherwise they'll shut down my channel. All right, but let's dive in. Did you know there's different types of peptides? What? I thought there was only one, the ones that my doctor injects in me, right? No, peptides, we can break it down to internal and external. So that's what I'm gonna go over today. And then I'm gonna teach you how you can stimulate your own body to produce your own peptides so that you don't have to pay $3,000 a shot of peptides. Let's go in. Internal, endogenous peptides made by the body. Like I said, our bodies make peptides. You just have to help it function normally at optimal levels, and it will produce all the peptides you need. You don't need to go inject other peptides, man-made chemical peptides, right? Well, the only time you would need to do that is if you don't want to change your lifestyle. If you want to eat crap, you want to eat, fast food, you want to eat processed food, you want to eat out every day, you want to not sleep only 4 hours a day, you want to be a night owl, well then you'll need those chemical peptides, right? But if you are like me and thousands of our patients at our clinic, we want our bodies to do it naturally. We want to live a healthier life for longer term, right? I call that restorative longevity. It's not about just anti-aging and restorative medicine. It's about longevity. How can we improve our body's function for a longer time, for 50, 60 years, not just 1 year? So internal, our bodies produce it. External, you're going to get it from big pharma, because big pharma makes it. You're going to make a lot of money from it, make it off of you. And we get it from our food. So let's dive in. I've got all of the source links. So everything that I'm telling you is not my opinion. None of this, if it's my opinion, I will let you know it's my opinion. But all of this medical facts, scientific facts are from scientific studies done by scientists, done by medical doctors. Internal versus external. Internal peptides, again, the body synthesizes peptide. The body synthesizes, let me make this bigger, peptide hormones and signaling peptides such as insulin, GLP-1, ghrelin, blah, 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 blah. All of these. Our bodies produce these. External peptides. These are the ones that big pharma is making. And big pharma and supplement companies. So people obtain external peptides mainly from peptide drugs made by big pharma. They are compounded peptides and research grade synthesized peptides and food-derived peptides released from dairy, eggs, meat, seafood, legumes, grains, and fermented food. You didn't realize we get peptides from those things, right? So yes, you can actually eat those and get the natural peptides and not a chemically man-made peptide. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. So natural versus synthetic, right? Natural, made by the body. Examples, the GLP-1 from the intestinal L cells. So GLP-1s are the most popular peptides, at least right now in 2026, because they're man-made, they're synthetic, and doctors, medical associations, FDA, they're saying it's the miracle drug for type 2 diabetes, weight loss. But did you know your body produces it? wouldn't it be cool if you could just find a way to stimulate your intestines to produce more GLP-1? Wouldn't it be cool, right? There are ways. Natural food, so this is made by the body. This is released. So there's three ways we can get peptides. The second way is released from food proteins, which is bioactive peptides from, let's say, from milk, the egg, fish, soy, oats, pulses, algae, basically plant or marine proteins and animal proteins, right? And the last one is the most popular one right now, and is the synthetic man-made chemical peptides. So food and peptide types. So we briefly went over the foods that we can eat foods, right? Our bodies produce peptides, and then we can get natural peptides from the food we eat. So which food do we eat? One is dairy and milk, casein and whey derived peptides. These actually give us ACE inhibitors. So for your blood pressure, antimicrobial, antioxidant peptides, right? Now, I personally do not recommend any human beings do dairy and milk on a traditional, on a daily basis, because I like to say cow's milk is for cows, for calves, not for humans, right? So they may give you these beneficial peptides from you drinking milk and eating dairy and cheese, right? But the consequence, the cons outweigh the pros. They create a lot of mucus and inflammation. Eggs. Eggs are not dairy. Eggs are great. Eggs are one of the best protein source. So egg white yolk proteins release bioactive peptides after hydrolysis. And what are they used for? Antioxidant and hypertensive activities. So if you have hypertension and you need some peptides to help you lower your blood pressure, eggs are a great way to go. Fish and seafood, right? Marine proteins and fish byproducts yield low molecular weight peptides. And what do these peptides do? They're antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, anti-hypertensive potential. So this is why, the Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean diet, if you've watched in one of my other videos, it is the best, the number one diet foundation. It's not perfect, but if I had to choose through all the diets, and let's talk about what my goal would be. My goal would be restorative longevity. That means living a longer life, but also not just longer, but a higher quality of life. Okay. So it's not about high quality short term or crappy quality long term. It's the best of both worlds. High quality long term. That's what I call restorative longevity. Okay. Mediterranean is the foundation for that. And that has been proven not in a science lab, not in a test tube, but in real people in this real world. They are called the blue zones. There's 5 major blue zones that have proven that the Mediterranean-based diet produces restorative longevity. Okay, so what real humans are doing in their real lives, living their own lives, than humans, in laboratory, in fake conditions, fake environment, right? I don't trust that science as much as what I call real life science. Okay. But let's meat and animal proteins. So muscle proteins and collagen tissues yield peptides during digestion and hydrolysis. This is very popular in supplement companies. Okay. And we carry them too at restorative longevity. We carry them also because they are still beneficial. They're very beneficial. Okay. These protein peptides supply collagen related amino acid. Collagen is super important for your joints, your skin. Okay. We have peptide blend, right? On our company, Restorative Longevity. Okay. Soy and legumes. Oh, wait, I thought soy was bad for you. Well, it is if you're using genetically modified soy, which is grown here in the US. But if you use organic soy is great for you. Okay. It has of those negative side effects that GMO, genetically modified, has. Chickpea beans, see, what can they do? Anti-hypertensive, anti-obesity, diabetes, lipid metabolism benefits, and reviews. So forget about the GLP-1 injections. Get some soy milk. right? Get some beans and lentils. Actually, in the blue zones, they found out that the number one food for longevity was beans. Okay. Oats, seeds. Oats, wheat. Okay. Oh, I thought wheat was bad for us. It is when it's today's engineered, bioengineered wheat. It is terrible for us, right? Food, we really want to have really healthy food. You got to go to Asia. You got to go to Europe. You're not going to get really healthy, original food. Of it is if it's not genetically modified, it's hybridized, right? It's changed somehow, but it's just not called genetically modified. It's still modified. Bioengineered is the word I was thinking. Um, but what do these do? They produce antioxidant. These peptides can help with antioxidant, ACE inhibitory. So again, relaxes the blood vessels for blood pressure. Okay. Fermented plant foods, kimchi, right? Fermented tation, peptides from plant proteins. These are functional food and nutraceutical potentials. Okay. So these are sources of peptides, food sources that you can get peptides from. Okay. What are produces metabolic peptides? Bodies produce tons of peptides. Okay, it's right here. It's metabolic, appetite, growth, reproduction, fluid balance, immune, and tissue repairing signaling families. Okay, so metabolic like insulin, GLP-1, gastric emptying peptides, appetite suppressants, peptides, ghrelin peptides, not suppressants. Ghrelin, hunger, fullness, growth, and reproduction. This is where our body naturally produces. That's what I'm saying. Instead of looking to an outside injection, man-made chemical, why not just help your body do it better, right? The reason why you're struggling with chronic disorders is because your body lost its potential to produce these peptides, which help your self-healing ability. But if these organs never regain their function, you will always be dependent upon an outside chemical made peptide. And in my previous video, when I was introducing peptides, I showed the research that said all of the chemically made peptides, all of them you have to take for the rest of your life. Once you stop, you lose all the effects. You lose all the benefits, and you actually become worse than where you start off with. And none of them have long-term safety studies. Okay. Long-term, I'm talking about 20-year studies. Okay. So growth hormone, so female, if you want to get pregnant, okay, instead of those injections, those IVF injections, your body can produce those hormones, those peptides, okay? You just have to provide it with the right environment and let your body do it. Fluid balance, stress, oxytocin, vasopressin. Again, these are peptides your body produces naturally by itself. It's supposed to, but because of your life, if they don't, it's because you screwed up your lifestyle. Something in your lifestyle, you are preventing your own body from producing these peptides. So why not just find out what you're doing that's preventing these peptides production and stop doing it, all right? Or help the organ that was supposed to produce it produce it. Immune system, our body produces peptides for immune system, antimicrobial, structural repair peptides for our fibroblasts, extracellular, our knees, our skin. See, our body produce hundreds, if not thousands of peptides. Okay. Now, how to encourage specific peptide systems? That should be your next question. It's like, how can I help my body, right? I mean, obviously, doing something like eating fast food every day, obviously stop eating fast food, right? That's common sense. But what are the things can you do to help improve your body's ability to produce its own peptides without injecting yourself with a chemically synthetic peptide? Okay. So gut shitty peptides, higher protein meals, okay, with fermentable resistant starch, healthy fats, they can help your intestines produce the GLP-1 peptides. Example, beans, lentils, oats, barley, Greek yogurt, and so forth. I'm going to make this dashboard available to y'all at Restorative Longevity. And if you comment also, comment into the comments, natural peptides. I will get my team to share the link with you so you can get this dashboard. Okay. Growth related signaling, deep sleep, high intensity resistant exercise. These can examples, right? So deep sleep and high intensity HIIT training, resistant training, weightlifting can trigger, okay, preserving your hormone related signaling and recovering. It can trigger production of peptides. So what does that mean? Consistent 7 to 9 hour sleep. Consistent, not broken up, not 3 hours now and then 3 hours in the afternoon. No, 7 to 9 hours every night without you waking up. That will stimulate your peptides. Heavy compound lifting, sprint intervals, and adequate total protein. Okay. For collagen and connective tissue, collagen production depends on amino acid, vitamin C, as a required cofactor. So what can you do? Collagen-rich protein or collagen-rich peptides, citrus or berries for vitamin C, plus resistance training. So eat your citrus, okay? Eat your citrus and do your resistance training, and that will stimulate your peptides that for collagen and connective tissue, right? And let's see, the last one, broad peptide supportive environment. So peptide signaling tends to work better when meal timing is consistent. Nutrient intake is sufficient and chronic metabolic stress is lower. If you don't have a regular eating schedule, then you're going to prevent your body from producing peptides. Now, the number one excuse that I hear a lot is, oh, but my work. Okay, well, you got to choose, right? Maybe you're in the wrong job, right? Or you got, oh, I got to make money. Well, maybe you're focused on material things versus your physical body. You can replace a house, a car, a boat, whatever. You cannot replace your body. Once your body stops producing peptides and it's just like deteriorating, it's very hard to revamp it up again. And it takes a long time. A car, you can always buy again. A house, you can always buy. So you got to choose what's important to you. I'm not here to tell you what's important. Okay. What I'm to tell you is regular sleep wake timing, whole food protein intake, stable glucose control, avoid chronic sleep deprivation. Especially like I was in college, right? We all did the all-nighters. That was terrible for us, right? But when we were younger, our bodies were resilient. But as we get older in our 50s, 60s, our bodies are not that resilient anymore if you've damaged it when you were in your 20s and 30s, right? So what you're doing, if you're watching this video and you're in your 20s and 30s, what you're doing right now, even though you don't feel the effects of it, absolutely hurts you 20 years down the road. So think about that. Before you say, hey, no, I rebound on 3 hours of sleep every day. I can function great. Well, great. That's for when you're in your 20s and 30s, but that will affect your health when you turn in the 50s and 60s, and you're going to regret it, and you can't get that time back. Okay. So why not develop a better schedule right now? Okay. So these are ways that you can encourage your own body to produce the peptides. How cool is that? But again, it's your decision. Some people just like, hey, I want to live life. I want to live life today. I want to not sleep. I want to eat whatever I want to eat. I don't want to exercise. I hate exercising, or I love exercising and I over exercise. I love playing sports. I play it every day and it's tearing my joints. Like I play tennis. I know a lot of tennis players, they play every day, but they're taking Advil, ibuprofen to reduce their joint pain so they could play every day. And they don't care about 10 years down the road that they'll need joint replacement for every joint in their body and they won't be able to walk and move. They only care about right now. They want instant gratification. That's not wrong. This video obviously is not for you if you're focused on instant gratification. But if you are focused on delayed gratification, which means you put in the work now so you can live a restorative longevity life, and how to stimulate your peptides, your own body to produce your own peptides so you never require outside source, right? Chemically made these chronic degenerative problems. I'm not talking about emergency situations, okay? I'm talking about degenerative problems, okay? If you're the type of life you want to live, a restorative longevity life, hey, these are the things we got to start doing today. Let's get into a routine. Your body likes to be in a routine. Your peptide production likes to be in a routine as well. If you're interested, what we do in our clinic is we have Chinese herbs that can also help. In addition to what I just shared to you a while ago, there are Chinese herbs that can help you boost that peptide production in your body. These herbs are all natural food, okay? They are made by God from Mother Nature. None of it is chemically made. No, none of it is made in a laboratory, and it can naturally boost. You need to do all this basics, but it can boost that to give you a little boost effect so that you produce the peptides more efficiently, better, and you heal faster. If you're interested, stay tuned to watch that video.